Guys, welcome to Heartland Dual Sport. In today's video we're going to be going to Alley Creek. It's another Corps of Engineer camping area. It's at Lake of the Pines, and again, there's a $5 day use, and or you can pay $40 for the year, and that gives you unlimited day use. I don't know if it gives you any other discounts. That'll be something I'll have to check into. With that said, somebody was asking me what the other benefits were for the state park pass, and I will be doing a video on that shortly as well. So again, guys, we appreciate y'all tuning in. If you're new to the channel, my name's Dale. I'll be your host here on Heartland Dual Sport. And I keep stopping because she's talking to me and giving me directions. We're actually pretty close to the Alley Creek. We're on the north side of Lake of the Pines right now. We're leaving one campground and headed to the other. Keep the video short. I don't want to have one really long, but I got a story to tell you. Aside from showing you around the Alley Creek campground. But we moved here 2 years ago. 2 years ago, everything was pretty much in storage. If you guys remember, I wasn't able to upload there for a while. I was working diligently every day to try to get a barn built, working on getting the leather shop completely set up so my wife could keep her business up and running. And long story short, I wanted to come fish this lake really bad, and I found a guide service on Facebook. I call this guy. I'm like, hey man, I want to go do some crappie fishing. He's like, hey, no problem, it's 175 bucks. Let's make a date. Set up a date. He called me the night before. He's like, man, the wind's blowing. Now guys, this is coming from a guy who grew up in Oklahoma. We've essentially got 2 days in Oklahoma. You got about 2 days in the spring and 2 days in the fall where the wind's not blowing. And in Oklahoma, if I say the wind's blowing, fellas, I mean it's blowing. We're talking, you know, 10-mile-an-hour days actually calm in Oklahoma for the most part, especially when you're talking about spring and fall. You just don't get any of them days with no wind. What you do get is a handful of afternoons after a tornado's gone through, and it'll calm down for a while, even up and through the evening. But generally the next morning the wind's already blowing. So anyhow, enough about all the fun wind in Oklahoma. What I want to talk to you about today is this guide service. He calls me, says, man, the wind's blowing, we're not going to be able to go out tomorrow. How about we go to this little power plant lake not too far from Lake of the Pines. Now I tried to explain to him, mister, I'm from out of state, and no, if I'm paying $175, I want to go fish the lake I want to go fish. I got a power plant right there by my house. I've gone over there, but it ain't Lake of the Pines. So anyhow, this went on for over 2 months. Every time we'd make an appointment, the wind would be blowing. Now guys, I'm not super smart. I've told you that before. But I just found 2 boat ramps on the north side of the lake. The wind's blowing out of the north. You'd have no problem getting even a kayak in and out. Anyways, I hope I can find me a guide that's not scared of a breeze. Now, I don't want to get out there in a dangerous situation, but I'm not afraid of a breeze. A lot of y'all don't know this, but I was a lake officer for 3.5 years in Oklahoma City. I know what it's like getting out on a lake in the wind. And here again, fellas, look at this. Can you see this? Oh my goodness, there's something hitting right there on the top. Wow. I mean, it's not white capping, it ain't doing nothing. You can see fish, I mean, just sucking bugs off. Oh my goodness. That's going to be the other place we're headed to. I'm sold. Look at this. Oh my god, there's an island back there, guys. Can you imagine kayaking all the way back there to that island? There's a guy in a kayak right there. Speaking of kayak fishing, my goodness. Alright, we're fixing to turn left up here on Alley Creek Park Road. I hope it's a Corps of Engineers and I don't have to pay again. But I'm paying to get in. I want to see this. And oh my goodness, look at the deer. Look at the, oh, and there's a dove right by her. There's a dove right by her. Did you guys see that? Oh my goodness. Okay. Corps of Engineers, praise the good Lord, I don't have to pay again. I don't know if I've mentioned it to you or not. It's hot. It is hot out here. Okay. So a lot of y'all, I kind of mentioned it a minute ago. I told you I was a lake officer. Aside from being a lake officer, I worked at downtown Oklahoma City as a bicycle officer. Now the reason I'm telling you this story, because if you guys watch our little outdoor channel at all, because tomorrow I'm coming back here and I'm doing some kayak fishing. That's part of why I take you guys with me on these little short day trips. It's because I plan on coming back. Fishing by the moon guide looks like it's going to be good. There goes a deer. Look at her just hopping across the dang. She just moseying on like she lives here. She runs this park. Look at that deer. Can you see her, guys? Look at her. That's awesome. It's hot. Alright. So anyhow, back to the bike pants. These bicycle pants. How do you get to the boat ramp? Did I miss it? I'm such an idiot. We'll figure it out in a minute. But there is a bathhouse. That's handy. Alright. And here's the camping areas. Let's just loop around and take a gandry. That says RV camping area 1. We'll come back to that in a minute. Anyhow, back to the bike pants. So I went kayak camping on, or not kayak camping, I went kayak fishing at Martin Creek. No, I went kayak fishing on Brandy Branch last week or the week before. It's the first time I really got the kayak out, so I wanted to go to that power plant that was close to my house. I did pretty decent. I caught several perch, had a good time. But my problem was I got sunburnt like crazy. I forgot to put my sunscreen in. But here's the fun thing about those bicycle pants that we wore back when I was at work, is you can unzip the legs off of them. So what I ended up doing, I went and fished another lake. Look at all them birds. Look at all them birds. They look like guineas, but I know they're not. They're vultures. But they look like a bunch of guineas hopping through there. Oh, there's another deer. Look at it, a little baby deer. I am so excited, guys. This is fun. Let's get up here. I don't think she went too far off in the woods, but she's just a little bitty rascal. It's hard for me to stay on task when there's wildlife. Where's she at? Come on. Where'd she go? Where's she at? Well, she boogied or laid down, and I just looked over the top of her. She's a little bitty. So anyhow, alright, back to the bicycle pants. I got sunburned like crazy. So what I did when I went to the next lake and fished last week, because it's been over the last couple of weeks, I wore my bicycle pants out there in the lake, and I was done fishing by 1 o'clock. I was wore out, guys. My little kayak I've got's great for several hours, but it's not an all-day fishing boat. So anyhow, when you get done fishing, you're loading your boat up, you're going to get wet. It's real nice to go ahead and just unzip those pants. They kept me from getting sunburnt worse. And then I was able to go home in a pair of shorts that were dry. So it was kind of nice. I don't know if any of you guys have ever done that. Not saying that I'm a genius and I come up with the best plan in the world, but them bicycle pants worked great. Now then, this is another nice little cove over here. I like the looks of it. Again, another place you could get in out of the wind, especially for fall. Oh, there's a boat ramp over here. Wahoo. How fun is that, fellas? Another boat ramp. Obviously you can leave your boat here because there's several here tied up. Nobody's going to jack with them. That's nice. Swimming area. I'm not really concerned about that. I'm too old and fat to be out swimming. I've noticed they've got life jackets around all these swimming holes, and I wonder if they'd put them out there for the kids that don't have any. And I kind of hope so, because that's actually pretty cool. None of these campsites right here that I'm seeing are actually close enough to the water that I'd really want to. I may be going out the wrong way. I don't know, guys. Could I have turned back there? Let's turn around. Kind of hard to tell. Some of these are long ramps, but yeah, I guess. Alright, so that's E210. Not really interested in that. Over here you got a lot of shade, but it is crowded with campers. E223 would be pretty nice looking place for the, it's got a nice overlook. Probably the best looking camp spot in this campground. This one here's marked E224. It would be good for the kayak as well. I think you could get up in that grass right there, pull the boat up without having to go to the boat ramp. So there's two of them I'd be interested in. These are pretty, but they're a good ways away from the water. Okay, I'll tell you a fun story. When I was a kid, we were on a church campaign, and I don't remember what state we went to, but we were coming back through, and the preacher, the associate preacher, and his son was my buddy. But the associate preacher and, oh, these are going to be tent sites and not crowded at all. I hope this is a bathhouse. Don't look like it may have shower, I don't know, but if that did, that would be the place to be for me, because look at the amount of people. Well, it's closed, that's probably why. Dang, this was really looking good up until you ain't got a place to go to the bathroom. Okay, anyhow, back to the story. Me and my buddy, we go around and we gather up a bunch of firewood. Our parents are off walking, enjoying the evening, doing whatever parents do, I don't know. And again, this was on our way back from a church campaign. And anyhow, we get a fire going. My parents come back, and I don't know, we was probably 11 or 12, somewhere in there. Good solid guess on the age. But our parents come back, and I guess there was a burn ban. So as proud as we were to have got that fire going, we were breaking the law. I'm going to get this to turn off maybe. Video, we're going to be going to Alley Creek, show you guys around that one as well, and then also we'll be doing another 10 casts. Let's see what we catch. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so the very first thing we went to was the Bullfrog Marina. We are currently at the Johnson Creek Park, and that is a Corps of Engineers park. Really, really nice. I could picture using this boat ramp, picture using this campground, especially for the kayak fishing. If you want to look at this map in correlation to where we're at, on the lake. This is again Lake of the Pines. Johnson's Creek is E2, so we're right here. And I believe that Alley Creek Park is another state park. Let me see if we can find it on the map. And if it's Corps of Engineer, yeah, that's it. If it's Corps of Engineer, guys, your day pass, from what I understand, is good for all the Corps of Engineer parks. So the next one's going to be a Corps of Engineer park also. Basically, I was wanting to look at these areas where you got places to camp, places, especially for the fall, if the wind starts blowing out of the north. Guys, I've got to tell you something. My first year here, I wanted to come fish this lake so bad, and I knew there was no chance that I could get away and get all my junk gathered up and found, because everything was still in boxes. So I contacted this guy. Oh my goodness, T105. Okay, so here's something that I didn't think about, and again, I don't know if this thing's recording or not. So I don't know if I'm going to go fishing tomorrow or not. Tomorrow's Friday. Lady did make a valid point. It is Father's Day weekend. She said this campground will be full. And how I ended up even talking to the lady, I'm hot. I pull over in the shade. I'm trying to fish. That's when I realized my battery's dead and all that nonsense. And drinking some water, hot water. I've got my frozen water bottles that you guys know that I carry, but evidently it's not hot enough for it to melt enough. It's like whatever. There's a mama. Look at her baby. Can you guys see that? The baby's on the other side of her. He ain't but 1.5 feet tall. I love seeing the deer. I mean, this place is covered up with deer. Way better than what I was seeing on the other side of the lake last fall. I came over here with my other channel trying to get some pictures of the wildlife last fall. And that's the Dale Frazier Photography, my other channel. And man, I didn't do any good out here. I did real good at Martin Lake. Martin Lake's a great lake. I'm more convinced that the fishing would be better over here. Again, this lake, time-wise, it would take me 10 minutes longer to get here. I think the fishing's probably 10 times better. I may be wrong. If you guys have fished Martin Lake and you guys know better, let me know. Because I'm not trying to knock Martin Lake. I have only fished from the bank that one time. You guys see me throw my lure 10 times. But everything I've read online said that this lake here is a really, really good crappie, catfish, and bass lake. I'm more interested in catching fish. You know, I've had a lot of people over the years ask me, what are you fishing for? And I guess the easiest way for me to say it is I'm just simply fishing. What do you guys think about that name, Simply Fishing? I'm thinking about making that a playlist on one of my other channels and just calling it Simply Fishing. And here's you a fun story. You don't know this, but years ago when I was branching off into, number one, I've hunted and fished my whole life. I've ridden motorcycles my whole life. I got my first motorcycle when I was 14. I got my first bow when I was 12. So I've been bow hunting, riding motorcycles, fishing, anything to get me outdoors. And guys, what I figured out is my life is a cycle. I'm curious if any of you are like this, but in the fall, I'm ready to go bow hunting. In the spring, I'm ready to go do some fishing. I'm not afraid to fish in the summertime in the heat. I've caught a lot of fish in the summertime in the heat. Texas adds a whole new dimension to this because a lot of lakes around here are the electric power company lakes, and fish will start going into spawn in December. I'm just not used to that. So it'll be something fun. I'm back to the spot in my life where I can start doing some fishing again. I didn't quit riding my motorcycle other than the part for the moving, because I simply couldn't do it then. But I'm back to that spot where I'm going to start doing fishing again. I have taken my 2-week hunting trip every year in November. Even during the move, I took my hunting trip. Me and Buster, that's something we got to have. And to be honest with you, during those 2 weeks for 2 years, that was really only our time off. You know, Buster was wore out, I was wore out. We just get exhausted doing all the building we were doing and everything. And I'm glad that we're back to the point where I'm not caught up. I'm to the point where I don't care. I'll get to it when I can, and I'm not gonna continue. We're set up. We've got everything we need. Any of the other stuff that I get done is going to be a luxury as it gets done, and I'm not killing myself to get it done. So anyways, with all that said, part of what I'm doing this year with the channel, because I've got to do time management, is I'm riding my bike, checking out places that I can go fish, throwing the lure just for giggles, and I'm going to start trying to upload. And I'm not going to be as serious with the other channel like I am this one. This one here, I make sure that I get a video up for you guys every Thursday. I think my other channel, it'll probably end up being every other Thursday or something. Again, I can't do it all. But again, we did go to the Johnson Creek. That was wonderful. Hopefully it's on recorded. Right across the street was our first stop. Again, I don't know where all the video left off, but look at this, guys. This is just phenomenal. Look at how beautiful this is. Tomorrow I may come up here to Johnson Creek and try to fish this out. It looks a little fishier than the other place. It's just so hard to tell. They both look great. They look phenomenal. But anyhow, that's what I'm going to be trying to do. Trying to get videos uploaded for you guys, tell you some fun stories, show you around, show you part of East Texas, show you some campgrounds. If you guys ever come out this way, you ought to be able to watch any of my videos and figure out where's a good camping spot, because I'm going through, riding through the campgrounds, calling them off and telling you, hey, this is the one I get and this is why. And being an old policeman, I tell you, one things that I am good at finding, that's shade. You ride around in a black and white car all the time, you figure out where the shade is. So that stuff's hot, your uniform's hot. It's just like wearing all this motorcycle gear. I can spot shade from a mile away. But anyhow, I think that'll be a fun thing to do with our channel here, and it's going to be kind of fun. Kind of share it with you guys. You guys will kind of have a heads up of where we're going to be fishing next. Again, I didn't realize tomorrow or this weekend was Father's Day weekend until that lady stopped to check on me. I was in the shade just trying to drink some water and hydrate. It's about 11 miles up here to my turn. When I get up here to my turn at the 11 mile mark, I'm stopping there. When I hydrate, I'm getting a headache. I don't think I've drank enough water, and I'm talking a lot. Talking like my wife does. But I'm trying to get a couple of videos made for you guys today, and again, I think I've had to redo them twice. I don't know where we're at on the memory card. But again, guys, we appreciate your likes, comments, and subscribes. If you like our video, give us a big thumbs up. We appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that you have a blessed weekend. And let's go ride Hurricane Creek. I don't think we went into Hurricane Creek. We need to go back and check that out.